what's up, people? Landan with LMR.com, and welcome to episode 4 of our Godzilla swap series into our 1992 Calypso Green hatchback box body that we've dubbed Green Goblin. It's been a while since we've seen you. Since episode 3, that was around late May of this year, 2022. Here we are with episode 4, late October, early November timeframe. Sorry it's taking us this long to get back to you. Trust me, there's a lot of stuff to do around here. Commit all of our time on putting a Godzilla into a Fox Body Mustang. If you haven't seen parts 1, 2, and 3, definitely go check those out. They're gonna get you up to speed and lead you all the way into where we're at currently in episode 4. Started the car for the first time, runs and idles. I said we were gonna try to do a burnout, drive the car, stuff like that. We have driven the car, but we still have to do a little fine tuning to the calibration. So no burnout just yet, but I promise you guys, whenever we get it all sorted, we will get a burnout going, get it on the dyno, weigh it, and of course take it to the track. Up until this point, Scott Hubbard and Cameron Brady, they've done a lot of work on this car. They finished the car, and for what it is, it looks really, really good. So I know this focus was, you know, Godzilla. In this video, we're gonna talk a little bit about Godzilla first, and then we're gonna pretty much run you through the entire car, talk about the exterior, the interior, the driveline, wheels, brakes, all that good stuff. And I know y'all are gonna find a lot of value in what we're gonna show you today, so let's get right into it. All right, people, so here's the engine bay. Here's where it sits. We got an intake system on it, cold air kit. Hubbard threw this together probably about an hour, 2 hours one day. We were getting ready to take it to our cruise in there at Texas Motor Speedway, and we were like, man, we gotta finish this thing off, because if y'all knew previously, basically we had the throttle body still attached to the intake manifold, and it was just pointing straight up, and really didn't look that good. Plus, we were gonna try to get a hood on it. We wanted the stock hood, but this is the Cervini cow hood. We'll close that down here in just a second and show y'all a shot of that. That one looks really good. But anyways, it does clear this particular hood, and we just had some rubber elbows, piping, and all that good stuff laying around here in the shop for Hubbard to build a pretty neat little cold air kit. Now, since we've put our cold air kit over here, you may notice we moved the battery back over to the driver's side of the engine bay. This is correct for 86 to 93 fuel injected applications. Also have the coil cover there as well with factory style solenoid tucked underneath there. Again, previously that was over there on the passenger side. But as we were doing all this, we were getting all together. We were trying to chase as many factory attributes as we could, and the battery was one of those. You may notice the factory crossover is gone over the intake manifold for fuel delivery. Gone with a set of Holley billet fuel rails. These are currently available on our site. Got those plumbed up real nice, and feeding that is still our SVE fuel system for a Coyote swap that we've just easily modified to work with the Godzilla. You may also be noticing, hey man, what the heck? Y'all put AC on the car. We sure did. I know in part 3, we were just gonna make the thing run. Really weren't chasing any amenities or anything like that. We thought, what the heck? We were here. It was still hot outside when we did all this. Put AC on the car. And the cool thing is, this is the one for our Coyote swap applications, just with a few modifications. Gonna bring that to market soon. No guarantees, but stay tuned. You may see that. Got the brake plums, typical placement for our proportioning valve, and we'll discuss brakes here in just a second. All right, so when it comes to engine swaps and the parts for the engine swaps, being that all these parts are new, there's still a few compromises that you may have to make. The compromise we had to make back there, cylinder 8, you can see it kind of right past my finger. The primary right there where the steering shaft exits the firewall, Hubbard had to dimple that primary. He also had to move the steering shaft and the column over as far as he could for additional clearance. So one of the compromises that we've had to face with this engine swap, but other than that, it's been pretty straightforward. That's the engine bay. Now we'll continue working our way around the car. Up front here, got the bumper put back on permanently. Those are a brand new set of headlights from our website. We also had to put a headlight harness in it because this being a donor car, there wasn't a headlight harness. So we got all that wired up. Those work great, and they look great against that Calypso patina front bumper. All right, around the side here, these are our SVE classic drag wheels in gloss black. They are 5 lug. They look really good on the car. Complements the patina Calypso really well. Yes, we still have a 5.0 emblem on the side of the car because everybody has to have a sleeper, right? But no, we're still trying to figure out what we want to do as far as emblem goes. For the time being, 5.0 works extremely well. Tucked behind that front classic drag, you'll see the Willwood drag brake kit. Pretty much everything I'm talking about here, folks, part related. If it's live on the website, everything's going to be linked down in the description. There's our classic drag front. We'll zip over here to the back. Classic drag in the rear. This car was used for the development of our 4-lug rear disc converter. Well, being that we had a 5-lug setup for the front on our drag brakes, all we did was just easily swap the axle. The brake setup is exactly what you would get in a 4-lug rear disc, except it has a 5-lug axle. All right, well, I'm gonna shut this hood. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll talk a few things about the exterior. This hood, this is the 2.5-inch Cervini's hood, cow hood. It looks really good. Obviously, we left ours gray, as you can see. Complements the patina Calypso fairly decent. We don't know what we want to do with this. Obviously, it's kind of hard to match patina, especially with like a fiberglass type hoods. Who knows? We may like take a picture of the paint. We may wrap the hood. You never know what we may do. Starting up front here, this is a brand new car-like glass that we had installed by a local glass company. Kind of dirty right now. We just got back from our cruise-in, but y'all know how good fresh glass makes a vehicle look, and this definitely made the car look really good. But got all of our moldings resprayed as much stuff as we could. If it was still in good condition, we reused it. Obviously, if it was available on our website, lmr.com, we replaced what we could. But painted wiper arms, that is a new cowl vent. Y'all know as well as we do, it's kind of hard to reuse a Fox Body cowl vent grill. Zip it around here. Painted mirrors, new roof rails, placement 50 Resto run channel trims. We painted the door frames and put new roof rail weather strips in. Outer door belt moldings, weather strips, inner door belts, all brand new, as well as lock cylinders and plastic factory style outer door handles. These are the Scott Drake replacement hatchback quarter windows. They look really good in the car, especially because you get the fresh moldings, all that good stuff. And y'all know, just similar to a lot of other pieces on the Fox Body Mustang, quarter windows, regardless of coupe or hatchback, they don't typically hold up. So we'll zip it around here at the back. Still an original rear glass. We just borrowed it from another car and resprayed our moldings. Put an LX emblem on it, did not have one, or it did not have the Ford emblem. One of the two, but we got the correct emblems on the back of the car. Also the correct 8793 taillights. And then we'll zip it up in the air here in just a second, show y'all the exhaust. You can kind of see here that 3-inch tip exiting the rear of the car. Looks really good. Of the exterior, that's what we did. You know, left the car patina. That was the original plan anyway. We just wanted to get the engine in the car, use it for some development stuff. Who knows, we may just leave the car the way it is, because personally, I think it looks pretty dang good. That's the exterior. Let's jump into the interior. Let's take a look inside the Goblin here. By the way, if y'all hadn't caught on, it's what we're calling the car, the Goblin for short. I guess its technical name is Green Goblin, hence Calypso Green. Here's the interior. This is a really nice place to be. Not gonna talk too much about it. The video series has been primarily Godzilla swap and a Fox Body Mustang, but since we did kind of quote unquote build the car, finish the car, however you want to word it, figured it was nice to talk about this. So Corbo seats, Corbo harnesses, Maximum Motorsport 6-point roll bar, crossbar in currently. Again, we just got back from our event, didn't want to hassle with all that going to and from the event, plus we were just driving around the parking lot. Fresh door panels, armrest pad, you name it, pretty much everything from our website in this car, in the interior, and it's a lot of stuff. Similar to the exterior, we did reuse as many components as we could. Now granted, Fox Body Mustang stuff here, you gotta replace some things, and that's what we did. 93 Cobra style wheel tucked behind that. That's that Autometer Envision digital instrument cluster. I'm gonna zip the key on real quick, let y'all see this boot up. This is pretty sweet. And then that's the gauge layout that we chose. There's 4 available. Y'all can read more about that part by clicking the link down in the description. Factory style shifter in the car. We also got line lock hooked up, all that good stuff. Console top panel. Okay, so here's the hatch area. Pretty simple. Hatch area carpet kind of flows into a rear seat delete if you must. Basically, that's just carpet tucked underneath the floor carpet. Painted interior rear quarter panels, and then there's a better shot of that Maximum roll bar. Looks pretty sweet. You know, we just painted that in gloss black, like roll bar or chassis paint. Passenger side, there's where our quick shift 6 controller is. Get a little light on the situation here, that way y'all can see where that's mounted. So put that there because we still got to do some tuning on it, make sure it's shifting, you know, in all the right spots. A little piece of hook and loop or Velcro, and stuck it to the side of the dash frame. Well, that's interior, exterior, the engine bay portion for where we're currently at. So now let's get the car up, run you down underneath. All right, so underneath our Godzilla swap car, things to make it right. A few components, but most of the stuff was just kind of finish out things. Exhaust, drive shaft, we did some stuff down back there, the rear axle area, suspension. But starting up front, we got our, you know, our inner fender splash shields, Team Z control arms. We got a bump steer kit on it, strange front struts with coilovers. There's the AC compressor that I was talking to y'all about earlier, and the AC system. Connecting to our ultimate headers, long tube headers, is a custom exhaust by a local muffler shop here to Waco, Texas, called Waco Muffler and Performance. These guys really knocked it out of the park on this custom exhaust. We utilized an H-pipe for the system. We've got like a factory style sleeve here, connecting the mid pipe to the header. Does have high flow catalytic converters. We have V-band connections on our mufflers. These mufflers are the Jones bore muffler that we sell on our website. Combined with the catalytic converters, it's got a really good exhaust note. And then connecting to the mufflers, we've got some 3-inch tailpipes connect there, simple to clamp. The Waco area, close to the Waco area, you need to trust somebody with some really good exhaust work. Again, Waco Muffler and Performance. All right, so at the rear here, got a Team Z drag spring, Team Z lower control arm with spherical front bushing. That's a strange rear shock. We have a 31 spline diff with 327 rear gears. That's the Team Z upper control arm setup. This reclocks the rear geometry. Got a pretty neat little crossover bar there at the top. You can kind of see it right through this bracket and the rear axle there, the pumpkin. But anyway, this piece here, like I said, it reclocks the geometry. You've got solid spherical bushings, basically helps with instant center. You can dial in your pinion angle, just drag racing stuff. And that is a custom fabricated drive shaft by Scott Hubbard. One of his many pieces he had laying around in his shop. He cut it down, welded it back up. We had it balanced just because, yeah, we could have had an aluminum one made. The wait time for an aluminum drive shaft was just out of this world, so why not just make your own if you have all this cool stuff available to make it. So the subframe connectors, gotta have those on a Fox Body SM95 Mustang for sure. Drive shaft safety loop, got that installed as well. We talked about this in episode 3, stifless crossmember with our 6R80 transmission. Got all the linkages set up, dialed in, got the transmission cooler all finished up. And then, like I said, the Quick Shift 6 is controlling that. Talked about our fuel system in episode 3. Again, nothing really changed there except for at the engine bay where we added the Holley fuel rails. Other than that, we got all of our brake stuff situated back here. Fuel tank covers on the car, nice and OEM looking. Those Willwood brakes, the rotor and the caliper. That's a really nice kit for drag racing stuff. Really a lot of finish out stuff. You know, we got some heat tape isolated throughout some of the hoses and things just to protect those. So that's the undercarriage. We'll get it back down and close this one out. All right, people, so that's gonna do it for episode 4. Like any of the episodes, hope you found a lot of value. There wasn't a lot of Godzilla swap specifics, but I do believe that y'all found a lot of value in us showing you that we finished the car. It's registered, it's inspected, you know, we can drive it on the street. For episode 5, when we come back, we're gonna weigh the car, we're gonna dyno the car, and we're gonna take it to the track. Sorry we didn't get to a big smoky this go around. We have driven the car around the parking lot. We're still working out a few calibration related issues with it, and once we get all that sorted, we'll be able to turn it up. Until then, we'll have some isolated videos come through once we get to episode 5, like a video pertaining to just the exhaust, dyno, and all that good stuff. You know what to do for all things 79 to present Mustang, SVT Lightning, all this cool Godzilla stuff. Keep it right here with the Real Enthusiasts, LMR.com.